Today I will show you exactly how to make this beginner-friendly hot and cold neck and shoulder wrap using my printable PDF sewing pattern that you can print instantly and sew along with me. This comfort pack can be heated in the microwave or chilled in the freezer to help soothe sore muscles, neck, shoulder, back pain, headaches, and so on. You can also make different variations of this. You can make it without handles or with handles. It's totally up to you. And you can also make it in different sections so that it holds the filler in different areas. I'm going to make the 3-sectioned one today, but you can use these instructions to make any of these versions, even if you are a beginner sewer. I am also including these printable handmade with love care cards that I designed, and you are welcome to use them. Just comment the word Aloha below and I will send you the link. If you are new here, I'm Heather. I'm a nurse, mama of 4, and the designer behind Aloha Sewing Company, where I teach you to sew the easy way using my printable patterns. This tutorial is part of my 60 Patterns to Sew It Forward project series, in honor of my dad who took his last breath just 2 days after his 60th birthday. So I'm designing 60 sewing patterns. We are donating 60 of them, and we are trying to spread the kindness by sewing it forward. So join me on my journey. And please like this video and subscribe to help get this video out to more people. So let's get started. You want to first go to the link below in the description box so that you can get this PDF pattern. It is professionally organized and very easy to follow. You are going to print out the sewing pattern pieces, cut them out, then you will trace that pattern piece onto the top of your fabric and then cut your fabric pieces out. After that, you just need to make sure you have the supplies that are needed, and here's what you'll need for this project. You're going to need about 1/3 of a yard of cotton, flannel, or some kind of natural fabric, whatever you want to use or have on hand. For the filler, I use long grain white rice because it's inexpensive, and you can also use flax seed. If you'd like, you can even add a few drops of essential oil if you want a relaxing scent. Lavender seems to be pretty popular. Everything here is listed in the printable pattern link below in the description box, or you can just comment Aloha and I will send you the link to it. If you'd like your neck wrap to have handles, I'll show you exactly how to make them now. If you'd rather make a handle-free version, you can skip ahead to the timestamp shown on the screen now, and let's go ahead and get it going. One of my favorite things about this pattern is how customizable it is. The first thing you have to do to make these handles is just cut out your fabric like I just did here. We cut it on the fold of the fabric, and I showed you that for those who are beginner sewers who haven't done that before. Once you have your fabric piece cut out, you are going to iron it. You want the wrong side of the fabric facing up, and then you're going to fold it in half and press it all the way down hot dog style. Then you're going to open that back up and you will see the crease that we just made in the center of this fabric. Get the bottom raw edge of your fabric and press it right to that center crease and iron it flat. Then you're going to flip this around and do the same thing with the other raw edge of your fabric and press that flat. And then we are going to press it flat one more time by closing those two folded edges together to create this long strip of fabric. So now we're going to take it to our sewing machine and we are going to sew right close to the edge so that we can close this here together. We're going to go all the way down on both sides. I stay pretty close to the edge, about 1/8 of an inch away. Now, just as a reminder, if you didn't see it on the pattern, if you're following along, this makes 2 handles. So you don't need to cut 2 pieces of fabric. We are going to do that now to make this into 2 different ones. Again, the handles are completely optional. I like to have them for people who have issues with grabbing things or holding onto things. Plus, it gives you a way to hang them onto something if you wanted to. So now that we have both of our top stitches sewn onto this handle, we are going to fold it in half and then cut it right in half. And that's going to create our 2 handles. It's as simple as that. Now let's go ahead and put our handles onto our fabric with one side of your fabric facing up. The pretty side of the fabric should be facing you. You are going to lay one of the raw edges of the handles 1 inch away from the side of your fabric piece. You're going to do that on both sides for all 4 handle pieces, the raw edges of those here. You can do a basting stitch to hold these in place if you want to. I skip that part because I've made so many of these before. And you are just going to lay the two long pieces of fabric with the pretty sides of the fabric kissing. You want the wrong side of the fabric facing you. Now pin or clip all the way around this if you need to. I've done so many that now I just don't do that. I only pin or clip where I have my handles, but so that your fabric doesn't move around, I suggest you do that. Now we're going to sew using a 3/8 of an inch or 1 centimeter seam allowance all the way around this, but on one of the short ends, we're going to leave about a 3" or so hole opening right where you've seen here on the screen. We want to use this hole to flip our fabric right side out. Just make sure you sew over your handles. You can make the hole opening right here where I'm leaving mine. I am starting sewing right before my handle is placed right here, and I'm going to go back and forth over the handle 1 or 2 times just to make sure it's extra secure. If you have never sewn around a corner, you want to keep your needle pressed into the fabric, lift your presser foot, rotate your fabric, put your presser foot back down, and then continue sewing. And that's how you'll get a nice, neat corner sewn. While I'm sewing this, can I ask you a quick favor? If you want to help support this project, just tap the like button and subscribe. It only takes a second, but it really helps this platform share these videos with more people. And the more people who see them, the more kindness we can spread through sewing. So please just tap that like button, subscribe, and tell me, who are you sewing this for? Now that we have that sewn, you can see I left my hole opening there. We're going to go right up to the stitches and clip all 4 corners. We do this so when we flip this right side out in a minute, all 4 of our corners will poke out nicely and won't bulk up right there at the corner, making it bulky. To flip this right side out, I put my thumb inside the hole opening and I bring it all the way to the other end of my fabric. Then I use my hand on the outside to just grab it and push it right through the hole, and then I just pull it, and you can get it all in one swoop instead of struggling with it. Once you have it flipped right side out, go inside with a pointy or blunt object and press out all of your seams and poke out your corners. I use a chopstick, but make sure you don't poke through your stitches. So now is the time to decide if you want to make this in sections. You can fill this up with the filler just as it is. You can make it with no sections in it. You can make it with 2 sections. You can make it in 3 sections like I am showing you how to do here, and I like this for it evenly distributing the filler best in my opinion, or you can make it in 4 sections. You're just going to fold it or make lines to section them off. So that way you know how to fill these up, and that will make more sense in just a few minutes. So I'm doing 3 sections, so I'm going to fold it into a third, and instead of marking on the outside of my fabric, I'm just going to press it flat with my iron so it makes a nice crease. And that crease is going to be my sewing guide when I'm sewing these into sections. So if you are making just 2 sections, you're going to fold it in half once. If you're making 3 sections, you're folding it like I am. If you're making 4 sections, you're going to fold it into 4 equal parts. And these will end up being our sewing lines. So now we're ready to start adding the filler. I'm using long grain white rice because it's inexpensive, and I'm going to add a few drops of lavender essential oil because I think it's really a relaxing scent to have, and when you heat it up in the microwave, it's going to smell really nice. So you just mix that up, and then I'm going to use a measuring cup, spoon, or cup, whatever you want to call that, to put the rice inside of my filler. But before I do that, I don't have a funnel, so I just like to use a scrap piece of cardstock paper. I fold it over into a cone shape and tape it, so that way it makes way less of a mess, and it's way easier to put the filler inside of our hot cold pack. Since I am making the 3 section, I'm going to use this first crease as my guide to fill up my neck wrap with the filler. So I'm going to put about 2.5 cups into it, and then we are going to top stitch using that crease as our sewing guide. I like to make it about 2/3 of the way full. You can make it stuffed more if you want to, or a little bit less. It is totally up to you, but I find about 2.5 cups is perfect. So here's my crease. I'm just going to top stitch, meaning sew right on top of this right here carefully, using that crease as my sewing guide. Here you can see where that top stitch line that we just sewed made this enclosed, and now our rice or filling cannot come out of that section. Now we are going to repeat the process and go right up until our next crease line that we made for the second section. I'm putting about the same amount of filler in, and we are repeating the process for the second section, and then I will show you how to do the last section, which includes closing it. While I'm adding this filler, tell me in the comments, who would you make this for? Someone recovering from surgery, a grandparent, a friend, yourself? I read every single comment that you guys leave, and they really help this video reach more people too. So please tell me in the comments, who would you make this for? Or if you have any ideas of where we can donate 60 of these that we've already made. Now we are ready to close this whole opening. So you're going to put your fingers inside that hole and pull the fabric like I'm doing here, and it should press the fabric inward so the seam across the top will be nice and flush with the rest of it on the outside. We're going to pin or clip that in place, and I like to sew 2 lines straight across. One really close to the edge, about 1/8 of an inch, and one 3/8 of an inch or 1 centimeter away from the edge. I do the same thing on the other side of this as well, where the other handle is. It just makes the handle just a little extra secure. I go, and we already have our first sewn line that we did earlier, so I'm just going to go and top stitch 1 line right here, just like I'm showing you now. And if you've made it this far, thank you so much for sewing along with me. Don't forget to comment Aloha below so I can send you this printable pattern link, and I'd love to see who else is part of this journey. Now look how beautiful this turned out. It took me 11 minutes from start to finish. And whether you're making this for yourself, a loved one, or to donate, I hope it brings someone comfort. If you make one, I'd absolutely love to see it. You can tag us on any social media at Aloha Sewing Company. And don't forget that those printable care cards are also included in the PDF that is linked below in the description box. And if you want to learn how I donate these, this is how I package them for gifting or donating them. It doesn't matter what kind of cold pack. I have so many different ones now that as part of these series, I include a care card that matches what it is. And if you comment Aloha, I will send you this printable pattern, these care cards, and how I package these as well. And if you want some inspiration on how to package it for gifting, I made these to gift to my aunt because her hot and cold pack recently got a hole in it, so I figured I would send her a package. So I made her this one that is for a back, and we are also creating a pattern and tutorial video for that. These reusable comfort pads in 4 different sizes. There is already a tutorial that I will link here for those, and it will be linked in the description box if you want to make those easy ones. And then here is the neck wrap that we just sewed together. This is one of the many care cards that you can choose from to print and attach with it. You can put it in a cellophane bag like I did these other things, but I like to just wrap it like it is here in some tissue paper. Now, if you want to display them, if you made the one with handles, you can just display them by hanging them by the handles and tying the care card to it like I did with some twine, and it turns out so cute. You can also use some skinny ribbon or anything else you might have on hand as well. But you are welcome to join this journey, to sew it forward and share some kindness. You can get the printable pattern below, linked in the description box, or comment Aloha and I will send it to you. There are also all kinds of other medical related sewing projects that will help or comfort others that you can choose from that I have already released videos for with patterns that you can print off whenever you want to. Thanks so much for spending a little time sewing with me today. Click on the screen to subscribe so you can follow along with all 60 patterns in this series. And you can also click one of the videos here on your screen and we can make something else together. And before you go, mahalo.